Hey everybody, this is Christina, the Amputee OT. In this video, I'm going to go into more details about how my peg leg works. Alright, so this is my prosthetic peg leg, which I use for aerial arts. The reason I use this peg leg for aerial arts is because my regular walking leg weighs 10 pounds and this weighs under 3 pounds, so it's a lot easier to use in the air. Also, when I am in the air upside down doing tricks on my various apparatuses, I actually don't have hardly any control over my prosthetic knee's ability to flex and extend. It's really only programmed to flex and extend when you're walking, and when I'm upside down on my apparatuses, I am definitely not walking. This is the socket. This is an ischial containment socket. You can see I've added some crystals to the ledge of it. I'm going to actually be adding more probably tomorrow, but I haven't done it yet. This black thing here is a 4-hole pyramid adapter that screws to the socket. This thing here is a standard tube clamp adapter. This is a carbon fiber pylon that I bought on eBay. One issue we had to solve when creating this peg leg is that there aren't crutch tips that fit over a 30mm pylon that are not totally ugly. So the only tips that I could find are like white colored tips meant for shower chairs, and I didn't want a white colored tip because I just wasn't interested in it. I wanted to use a cool crutch tip, and I really like this one because it has a peace sign on the bottom of it. So everywhere I walk, I'm gonna leave little peace sign prints everywhere. I thought that was cool. And I wanted something that was black. So what she did is she made a pylon insert that is adjustable. So when I turn this, see it's getting longer there? That is so that I can change shoes with this. So if I wear this barefoot, I have it all the way down. If I wear shoes with it, then I'll compensate for the heel and the thickness of the shoe by unscrewing this insert. The whole crutch tip pops off in case I want to change crutch tips. And the other reason is that the crutch tip can sort of rotate on this without actually unscrewing this adapter. Because you can imagine if I'm standing on it and walking on it and I turn and rotate, I could actually be unscrewing the adapter, but I'm not doing that because this crutch tip fits on here relatively well, but not so well that it'll unscrew the adapter. If I rotate while I'm walking on it, then the crutch tip just turns rather than the adapter turning. Lexi custom made this insert in her machine shop, and let me tell you, it's just fun to watch her work. Right here you will see a circular opening and a button there. This button is what releases the liner. So the liner comes out. This is the liner. The liner has a pin screwed into the end of it. One thing to note about liners is that they don't all have a universal pin. So you have a liner, and the liner, when you get it, doesn't have a pin on it. And the reason for that is that there's a bunch of different types of locks, and the locks have different types of pins. And so you might not have this same combination. Your pin might look different. So there are a bunch of different liner and pin combinations depending on what type of liner works for you and what type of lock works for you. I'm going to take this liner off. This is the suction liner that goes with my regular prosthetic leg, which is right here. And I will put the peg leg liner on. You might be wondering why I don't use the suction liner for the peg leg, because then I could just have one socket and use for both and just switch out the bottoms. And there is a very good reason why, and I will explain. When I am up in the air doing aerial tricks, this prosthetic leg undergoes a lot of extreme range of motion and being upside down and being at odd, awkward angles. And the suction system really is not very good for that. What happens is that this leg tends to become unsucked and fall off. Whereas this leg is much more secure. If I used this style of socket with a pin lock, then this style of socket could rotate on my residual limb, and then this would rotate, which you might not think is a big deal since it's just a straight pull, but it actually is because of the way it is aligned. You can see the interface between the two is not exactly straight. There's like an angle to it. So if it rotates, then the angle will be off and it'll be awkward to walk on. So this type of socket is designed in such a way to prevent it from being able to rotate on my residual limb. And the reason I don't use a pin lock style system on my everyday walking leg is because the way the pin lock system is designed, it kind of makes you feel like all of the weight is on the end of your residual limb. So it makes your prosthetic leg feel heavy by comparison compared to vacuum. Although I haven't actually tried it, to be honest, and I probably will try it at some point because, I don't know, maybe I will like my everyday walking leg with a pin lock system. I don't know, it's a perfectly viable system, I just haven't tried it. But I knew that suction would not work for my peg leg for aerial work because it would become unsuctioned and it would fall off. The way I put my peg leg on is I invert my liner and I put it on the end of my residual limb, and then I roll it up. Now it's on. Did you hear that clicking sound? That clicking sound was the pin going into the lock. And now my peg leg is on. To take it back off, I just press the button to release the lock, and it slides back off. And that is how my prosthetic peg leg works. Thanks for watching. Bye!